Hello, hello. I'm a little bit late. It was raining really hard. I'm glad it kind of stopped because it was really loud in here. All right, we are live. Let's see. Gotta get ready here. Hey, people are showing up. Okay. Excuse me while I get ready. It's kind of cold. I'll wait a little bit before I start looking at the chat. I'm a little bit late. Yeah, we got Alan is here, first one. JF Baird, Tommy Taylor. Hello, hello. Okay, let's see if we can get this show on the road. Welcome to the Bat Cave. Same old, same old, same old. One of these days, I'll change it up a little bit more. Yeah, my next major purchase is the lights for this little studio in here. This studio slash napping room in my plastic shed outside in the backyard. So what I've got today is Texas rock. I was going to do this on a regular video, a tutorial video, but as luck would have it, every time I wanted to do a video, or every time I planned on doing a video, I didn't feel right. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if I've got a toothache or a slight sinus infection or a slight toothache, but I just go to sleep early every night. Yeah, it's getting better though. So that's why I didn't do any normal videos, because I usually wait until the end of the day to do my regular videos. But I wasn't feeling right. But anyway, I've got this road rock. And I'll just do this on live stream instead of on a regular video. Okay. Hopefully everyone can see. Who else we got? Hey, Ed Gould is here. Buckskin, NYB, Marty, Tommy Taylor, Graylin Landry, Flakesguard, howdy, howdy. Some good size LED points this week. Yeah, I'm glad you think so. KRF points, yeah. Alan Cole says, I'm getting on the road. Give me 30 minutes or so. Okay, I'll be here for 2 hours. Yeah. No problems. All right, so let's see what we can get going here. See, I can see with this light, but it's hard for you to see it. So I've been looking in the books for stuff to do. What I did this week was I did a lot of clay style points. It's easier for me if I just stick with one style. Yeah. I was going to say something else. What are my plans for the week? I don't got no plans except trying to do as many points as possible. I'm doing as much napping as I can off camera. That's much faster for me to do it that way. If I don't do regular videos. But I do notice the revenue starting to go down because I don't monetize the live streams. Although I'll probably do a vertical live stream, vertical format video. I think those are monetized. I don't think I have a choice on those. Hey, Jim Main is here. Ronald is here. Hey, Jack, good to be here. Yes, good to see you. Styly Designs, rock and roll. Yeah. Okay, so this resembles a Georgetown chunk, but it's not. It's just a regular kind of a tabular, blocky Texas chert. Hopefully it's high grade. And yeah, I paid for this. I bought it. Okay. And I selected this out of a bunch of stone. You can kind of see it if I bring it up close. It's nice. So far, so good. When it does that, that means it's going to be pretty good. So far, so good. All right. Sometimes these blocky pieces have incipient cracks. Yeah. This is a solid copper bopper. This one is like an 8-ounce. Let me see. Yeah, 8.2 ounces, solid copper head. It's not lead filled. It's not lead filled. It's copper, solid copper. 8.2 ounces. Yes, okay. That one was sticky. But yeah, it looks pretty good. Now there is what appears to be a natural crack in there. That's not good. That's why it was sticky, I guess. Let's see. Hey, Sal's here. Blades and points. Great looking auction point, says Jim. Thank you, thank you. Ed Gould, $10 super chat. Thank you, to pay for the clay point. Awesome. Yeah, I made Ed a clay point off camera. I said I'll just send it to you. And now he's giving me $10. That's awesome. Yeah. Thank you. Who else is here? Did I miss anybody? Bill Hansen? Yeah, Marty's bidding on a lot of stuff. I saw already. Yeah, I checked the auction just before I went live. This rock is actually looking pretty good so far. At least I can get some good arrowhead spalls. It's nice and thick. So if there's any defects, a lot of times when it's thick like this, I can knock through the defects, but it does have natural crackeola. So I might not be able to get a relatively large biface. If this keeps happening, I won't get very large spalls either. So it's nasty. It's got a natural crack right through the whole thing, but it might not be bad on this side. Let's see. Who should have started with a lower bid? Yeah, if you don't know, if you're new, I got an auction going on, but it's not a live auction. I just post the videos, and then I declare the winners. You bid in the comment section. I declare the winners later on tonight. 9 p.m. Eastern time is when I declare the winners. Where does this go? Nobody know? Where does this go? Nobody know. I don't know how this went back together. I don't know. It broke up because it had some natural cracks in it. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to a different piece. Yeah. This goes back in the bucket. I'm going to get my books out of the way and look in the bucket. Let's try this piece. Put these in the bucket, these usable pieces. And the unusable little crud flakes, they go in this Trash over there. All right, so let's see what we can get out of this one. Hopefully this one doesn't have any cracks, although the material looks very similar. Flint snapper, first snow in Tennessee today. No school. Yeah, I heard about that. Gary Reed, you made it. You made it or I made it? Let's see. Yeah, Sal's got excellent views on his live streams. Yep, yep. Yeah, if I monetize mine, I might get better views, but it don't matter. The only thing that matters is if it's monetized, then yeah, the number of views matters when it's monetized. I don't monetize these. We'll see what happens on the when I try a vertical format. I might do that like Wednesday. Yeah, those will be filmed straight from the phone, so we get to deal with the phone camera, which is not much better than or not much worse than the computer camera. Right now, I'm using the computer's camera, the webcam on the computer. This one can be made into a Kerrville knife. It's got that nice rounded area, so I don't know if I'm going to continue. I can make a Kerrville knife out of this and offer it in one of the auctions. Let's see. Yeah, let's just zigzag this. I mean, I could, I suppose, but it doesn't. It doesn't have the cortex in the right spots. I don't know. Let me try it. Still has a little bit of cortex on one end. I can still try for that Kerrville knife type thing. Kerrville knife with a K. Kerr Ville. Ville. And I think these were made with direct percussion only. By the way they look, the real ones. Yeah, with large flick removals. The quality on this is pretty good, actually. On the shirt. Yikes. Too much. I removed too much. It's still okay, though. I'll refine the tip with indirect percussion. But the sides I can do with the bopper with direct percussion. Yep. Just a few more strikes in strategic areas. I got a friend that really likes these Kerrville knives, but I haven't seen them in the auctions in a long time. So let's see, if this works out, this will be in the next auction, not today. If I don't mess this up, how can you mess up a Kerrville knife, dude? It's like one of the easiest of all things to make. Yeah, don't worry, it's easy to mess up too. Sometimes that tip part breaks off. I got one or two big flake removals left. I got to make these count because if they don't work out right, it'll be too thick. It's got to be thin near the tip. And if it didn't work out right, if I get a step fracture, it'll end up being too thick. All right, so where am I going to take? I'm going to take one off of here. I got to clear off the cortex. Like, see, this side doesn't have much cortex except on the top. That's where it's supposed to have it. So I got to remove this part, and that's not too difficult because I'm going to hit right here. You know the deal. See if it did it. Yeah, I think it did it. Voila. Yeah, it's handy to do the Levallois technique on these. I can use it for something else, and it thinned down pretty good. Yeah. So now I just gotta clean it up. It makes me happy when the plan comes together. Yeah. All right, let's clean it up. That was relatively easy peasy. All right. The fun thing about these is there's no sweat stage. Nope. Wish they'd all be like that. That's the wrong size. That's 5/16 rod. It's too small. A 3/4, no, 3/8 is the better one for this kind of large flake removal stuff. Mike Mason, howdy. Jesse, $10 super chat. Thank you. Dang it. There's a lot of generosity tonight. Thank you. So I'm just gonna refine this and then show it to you and then move on to the next one. Because these are relatively easy peasy. One of the oldest tools. What is the oldest stone tool of mankind? It's the utilized flake. Just use a flake to cut with. That's the oldest one. Ooh, nice. Sweet. Beautiful. Fantastic. Wonderful. Ooh, the luck did not last. That was crushed. All right, let's see if we can do it without crushing the thing. Yeah, I know. I gotta grind it more, but I already ground it down a lot. But you gotta grind it even more. You grind it down a lot and it still doesn't work. That means you gotta grind it down even more. All right, who else we got? Ross Wellman, Gary Reed. I'm going to the lever right rock. You have lever right? Mike Mason, Woot, you doing an unboxing vid, Jesse? Oh, okay. Talking to Jesse. Let's see here. Let me try to finish this out. Ooh, that's good. I don't know. That one kind of got crunchy. Dang it. Still crunchy. Yeah. Still crunchy. Even after all that grinding. This is a raw piece of Central Texas chert. It looks like an amoeba type chert, but it's not. It doesn't nap anything like the amoeba stuff. It's tough. And it's tough, and it has a real thick cortex, so you can't really get all that much out of it by weight when it has a lot of cortex. So I think I'm done. Yeah. I can't make it this pointy. I forget. The tips are a little bit rounded, so it was probably used for some heavy duty cutting that might hit bone. So you don't want a real sharp point on it when that's the case. How do I know? I don't know. Have I used these to cut and butcher? Yes, I have. They work well as long as you don't hit the bone. Once you start hitting bones with this, it breaks that all up. Starts chipping and napping the tip. You don't want to use this for prying either. You don't want to be in there going like this with it. No, it's just strictly for slicing, and it's a heavy duty piece that if you drop it, it's not going to break. That's probably why they made them like this, I think. And of course, this smooth, smooth cortex is easy on the hands. Yeah, it doesn't cut you. All right, so I'm going to grind the whole area right where the hand touches the thing, including a little bit down the sides, on both sides. Bill Hansen, $10 because you're a nice guy. Thank you. Very generous. I'm glad you think I'm a nice guy. Yeah. I hope my kids are watching. You watching, kids? See? People give me money because I'm a nice guy. They might say, Dad, they don't even know who you are, Dad. Yeah, you see me at Knappings. See, Bill Hansen, I don't think he'll see me at a Knapping. Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember. Don't worry, I'm not that impressive in person. Yeah. So if you haven't seen me at a Knapping, don't worry. I'm not that impressive, so you didn't miss much. I'm usually buried in my work when I'm at a Knapping. I have learned to socialize somewhat. Yeah. I will socialize and do the schmoozing thing once in a while. Okay, so that's a Kerrville knife type thing. Right? It's a little one. It's got cortex right where it's supposed to. And I don't know what they use these for. Have they done studies on these? Yeah, they've done studies and use wear studies, and typically when they're asked what was cut with this, the answer is yes, which means basically everything. There's signs of all kinds of stuff on these. They use these for cutting everything. All right. So if someone asks you, what did they use? What did they cut with that thing? And the answer is yes, everything. All right, I'm hesitating to use this one because it looks like it's super sweet, but let's break into this one. Yeah, I think we shall. Gary says, your name is known in the Flintknappers. Are you talking to me? Let's see. Jesse says, I was in heaven this weekend. Lavic Jasper Fields. Never saw nappable stone all over like that. No super huge pieces, but lots of nice tabs. Well, then that's great. Hey, Dwayne Griffin is here. Hello. Dwayne Griffin. Ed Gould. Jace Williams. Hey. I haven't seen you before, I don't think. Yeah, Ed says, I always loved getting out and picking up rocks. Yeah, that's a good feeling for sure. Yeah. So that's cool about the Jasper. What's it called again? Lavic Jasper Fields. Fields of Jasper. That sounds pretty good. Sounds excellent. Yeah, excellent. No, do not drop this. Should I weigh it? Yeah. You already know it's going to be about a 10% yield. Yeah. It's funny how that works, huh? Unless it's a really large nodule to begin with. I should start with a more consistent beginning. Because you never know how big these nodules are going to be. So you start with a spall, let's say. That'll give you a little bit more of an idea of the efficiency. Because these nodules are very inconsistent in weight. If you start with just weighing the nodule, if it's a huge nodule and you only get one biface, or you're just going for one biface, the yield is going to be very low. But if you start with a spall or a big flake or a relatively small, like tabular shaped and small sized nodule, the yield by weight is larger. It really doesn't matter, right? I mean, it doesn't tell you that much, but it does tell you a little bit about how much material was actually used. So you get a kind of an idea of the vast amounts of stone that must have been used in the past, because a lot of these shapes that are made, especially the thin ones, the thin shaped bifaces, are not very efficient as far as how much yield you get by weight. The thinner it is, the less yield by weight. So that means there's a lot of debitage for those really thin types of points. And a lot of those flakes from the thin points are not usable because they're either too curved or too thin or too small. Except for the most rudimentary of tasks. What is a rudimentary task? Well, yes, it's a task that's pretty rude, right? Hey, that was rude. Yeah, I got lots of these rudimentary flakes for them rude tasks. Yeah. It's not what it means, dude. It's not what it means. Yeah, I know. This stuff looks like high grade stuff, but then it's kind of funny. How do I explain it? It looks like it would nap well, but it just acts kind of funny. If you X me, yeah, X kind of funny. If you X me. Let me see. These are crud flakes. There's also lots of cortex on this piece. That one's not bad. Let's see. I can't get very many of these little point flakes. I'm gonna put together a couple of boxes of sample flakes for some people. Still got to do that. If you're watching, I still have those on my list. Yeah, on my back order list. But those are recent back orders. I promised to send out a couple of boxes of sample flakes. The trouble is, it holds up my trash, so I'm saving all my trash right now, which clears up my shop. But it's okay. I'll just deal with it. Yeah, it's not like my shop's never been cluttered. I've got bins of flakes, but those are more difficult to sort through than my trash. Anyways, where am I? Let's see. Ross says, Patrick, I made a crescent point the other day. What's your take on crescent points? My take on them is that they're probably knives. Just try to imagine what you would use it for out in the field. What would I use a crescent shape, a bifaced crescent rather than, a flake like this? So why would I use a crescent instead of a flake like this for cutting? I think the crescent is just a specialized type of knife for whatever they were using that for whatever they were cutting that required a certain shape. So you can always cut with this, but a specialized blade is meant for a certain application, like a specialized blade for an atlatl dart point, specialized blade for a skinning knife, a specialized blade for maybe gutting fish. If I got really specific on what I thought the crescent was used for, I'd be wrong. You've got to be very general about this when you try to guess what these tools are used for. To me, a crescent looks pretty useless. I would never use one out in the field. So it had to be a specific application. And there's no way for me to be correct on what the application was. Okay? Because we weren't there. We don't know. But the way it looks, it's kind of odd. That means it's got a very specific purpose. What that purpose was, who knows? Now, I have made a knife with a regular blade on one side of the handle and a crescent on the other side of the handle. So that was a two-headed knife, and the crescent was mounted. Let's see. Let's see if I can get in the start. Let's see if I can figure this out to tell you what I did. Let's say that. Okay, this is kind of sort of. It's a good question on the crescents. I don't have a crescent shape. let me see what I can do. I can draw a picture. Yeah, I got lots of paper, but not within 5 seconds. Let's see. Cut a cardboard. See, I can draw it on a piece of paper. I got tons of pieces of paper, but not here. And I'm not going to use a stone blade to cut the cardboard because it takes forever. Why does it take forever? Because you got to saw it. Anyways, I made a knife with two heads on it one time. Okay. And one end had the crescent. And one end had a regular blade. Okay. So let's see. What was a regular blade like? Like this? Like this? Sorry, you can't see. You can't see yet. Okay. Anyways. All right, so I'm going to show you this to you in a second. Can you see on this side of the knife, it had the regular type of point, right? On this side, I mounted the crescent this way. And the crescents a lot of times have teeth. Okay, I'm putting some teeth on here so you'll see. A lot of times the crescent will have teeth on the flat spot, and it'll have a little indentation here on the round spot. So I think they were mounted with or without a blade on the other side. Let's say you can make a knife without this, just like that, and you pull it towards you, let's say as a skinning application or something. Okay, or maybe for gutting. This is a gutting blade, perhaps. the working areas of the crescents are right here on these flatter spots, not this curved spot, as far as I can tell. Now there are different types of crescents, right? But the crescent blade knife that I made had that crescent mounted like this. And those teeth are serrations. And if you look at the real ones, you can see those serrations on some of those crescents. Okay? So that's a specialized application. So I think that was a possibility. It's very specialized. Okay? So it's not like a multi-tool for everything. It might have been a gutting knife. Maybe. Or it could have been just a backup knife. I don't know. Anyways, good question. I haven't had a good question in a while. Let's see. Wait a second. Chat's going too fast. Hold on. Let's see. Sal says I'm going to start a GoFundMe on my live stream to send me to Glass Buttes. Cool. Hey, Jace Williams, first time here, but I do know Mike. Everybody knows Mike. I'm assuming. Mike Mason? We'll see. Yeah, let us know how that works, Sal. Ross asks, Patrick, I made a crescent point the other day. What is your take? Okay, I read that one. Let's see. Tommy Taylor says, okay, I'm back. I had to beat Ralph to the auction. Haha. Charles Perriott, where does one find good knapping rocks in Denmark? You want to know exactly or in general? In general, it's at the beach. Go to the beaches in Denmark, public beaches. That's where you find good knapping rocks in Denmark, at the public beaches. Maybe you'll run into Will Lord and some other guys, since everybody knows now to go to the beaches in Denmark. Yeah, get a hold of Scott Lauer. He's probably going to be here on the chat, but he's been in the chat before. But anyway, he's got a channel. Scott Lauer has a channel. You can contact him. Ronald Carbino. Jack, what would you say a good predictable type of stone is for knapping? Or isn't there one kind? There are many kinds of predictable knapping stones. Yeah. What would you say is a good predictable type of stone? Just the ones that don't have a lot of nasty stuff in them. You've got to test it. The stones that are tested to see if they're consistent are the most consistent. There's really no rule. You just have to test the stones. And if I told you that Georgetown or Amoeba chert or a Danish flint or Monterey chert from California or Onondaga chert from New York or something was good, you'll get a piece that's not good and you'll go, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I got a piece that he said was good. He doesn't know what he's talking about because this is crappy. So that's why I don't recommend anything, because it's true. Once in a while, especially if you don't have good luck, like me, I don't have good luck. I'll get the nastiest piece of the thing that someone recommended by chance. Someone would say, hey, you got to get a hold of some of that Knife River Flint example. And then I get a piece of it and it breaks all up into junk. Like my first experiences with Knife River Flint, they all broke up into pieces of junk. And I said, this is not good stuff. And everyone said, back then, everyone was going, well, I don't know. Every time I nap Knife River Flint, it's awesome and beautiful and fantastic and wonderful. So I can't tell you. And if anyone tells you that they know specifically what type of rock is good, chances are you won't get a good piece. How do I know? I don't know. You'll be sitting there going, dang it. I mean, is this what they call good? Is this what they recommended? What have they been napping and they call this good stuff? They must be napping cinder blocks or something. And I wouldn't doubt it. But anyways, you have to test it. The best rock is the tested rock. And for beginners, there is no answer to that because they can test the rock and they don't even know if it's good or not. It could be the best rock in the world, and they hit it and break it in half, and they go, it's a break in half type stone. This is break in half stone. Dang it! And it could be the best stuff in the world. It's one of the most common questions in the beginning, and it's a good question. What's a good stone? Consistent? But the answer is no. No. What's the best stone that's consistent? No. What do you mean no? Yeah, that's my answer. And not only it's my answer, it's my final answer. Yeah, but you can't answer a question like that with just one word no. Oh, yes, I can. Because it's Flintknapping. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Flintknapping is not like other stuff. It's not like other crafts. Like you can if someone asks me what's the best wood to use for basket making, or what's the best stuff to use, I can say like rattan, and I'd be right, or something like that. Bamboo, yeah, I'd be correct. It's Flintknap is not like that. What's the best wood for carving? I could say basswood, and I'd be correct. But that's not how Flintknapping works. It's very hard to get a bad piece of basswood. How do I know? I don't know. I almost got into wood carving instead of Flintknapping. Yeah. I probably should have gotten into wood carving. But wood affects my allergies. Stone doesn't. Yeah. Otherwise, I probably would have got into woodworking instead of Flintknapping. Come on. But that's probably why I only have 30 people watching my videos, because they don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that you can't recommend a stone. I don't want to hear that. It's stupid. Unsubscribe and unlike and leave. I'm out of here, dude. You got, after 15 years, you got to be able to recommend something. No. The answer is no. That's probably why I only have 31 people. Let's see. Yeah, Alan Cold, I think, is found in coastal Denmark. Yeah. This Danish flint. Charles Perriott, North Sea or Baltic coasts? Both. I think they exist on both. There's nappable stones all through the beaches in Denmark to various degrees. Some beaches hardly have any, some beaches have a lot on both sides. You just have to spend many, many days looking, like we all did. How many hours have I spent looking for rocks? Probably, if you add it all up, at least a month on foot, 8 hours a day, just looking for rocks. If you add it all up, just take a 1 month vacation and walk the beaches 8 hours a day. Danny Moore is here. Patrick, that's a neurodivergent something or other. Hold on a second. Dang it, I've been missing some of the chat. Let's see. Alan Cole says, Patrick, that's a neurodivergent sketch. I'm having issues. You didn't like my sketch of the crescent? Greg Evans is crescent. Yes, yes. Gary Reed says, Sal, I missed your live stream this weekend. Charles says, I have some people there who could do some hounding for me. It will get a 15% tariff coming from the EU. Oh, dang. Let's see. Yeah, just if you have friends in Denmark, I'm sure they'll be able to take a little vacation and go out there. Yeah, no problem at all. I laugh because sometimes it can be a big problem. How? It's a matter of luck to get the good stuff. So whenever it's a matter of luck, Murphy's Law takes effect. And what Murphy's Law says is if it's possible, then it will happen. So it's possible they could bring only nasty stuff where they missed all the good stuff and just picked up the nasty stuff. And then you get all the nasty stuff. But there was a ton of good stuff on the beach. They have to be taught how to test it. Yeah. All right, let's see. Hey, Red Eyed Patriot, what's up, fellas? What's up, Michael? Let's see. Let me see. Jeffrey, have I seen you before? Let's see. Jeffrey asks, were Ishii expanding notches functional or were they just for looks? They were functional, but not in the way you might think. They're functional because it's easier to expand the bottom of the notch when you want to continue driving depth. That's where it's functional. It's functional during the knapping. Okay? As it expands, it becomes easier to advance into thick material. Now, Ishii points were thick, so as he expanded the notch, it made it easier to continue. Otherwise, it doesn't really affect the hafting very much, except the opening is small. It might affect the travel into the wound, but that didn't seem to affect anybody else because there's a lot of arrow points that have big wide notches and apparently didn't affect the travel into the wound. Now, narrow entry notch is difficult to do, so it seems like a waste of time. But if you look at Ishii's points, the narrow entry didn't always work. Okay? It started narrow, and then he would blow out one of either the barb or the ear, and he'd do the other side, and maybe it'd come out better. If you look at Ishii's points, the notches are not symmetrical. Some of them get blown out and are wider than others. What the advantage of an expanding notch is it's easier to advance inward as it gets thicker if you widen it as you advance it. Okay? So because the rule is the width of the notch should be wider. The measurement of the width of the notch should be more than the thickness of your piece. Otherwise, you'll get into trouble. Okay. Robert Lay. Let's see. Perriot, there is a book called Scandinavian Flint. In that book, you can see where the different flints are found in Scandinavia. You can download it for free. All righty. Ronald says, thanks, Jack. I get it. Okay, awesome. Hope I wasn't being too sarcastic. Let's see. Danny Moore, I feel fortunate to have received the Knife River Flint that Marty sent me. It seems to be a good bit better than a lot of it I've seen online. Awesome. Yeah, that's always good. If you get lucky, it's a blessing. Yes, it is. Greg Evans, Denmark, Flint, Cliffs of Sangstrup and Karlby. Well, there you go. Someone who knows. Yes, yes. Uh, JF Baird says, I have some good center block stone. Or is it cinder block stone? Jeffrey Gammon had a question. I don't see it. Oh, yeah. I did answer that. Expanding notches. Okay. I did see it. Let's see. Jesse says, that's what happened to me. I ordered a Georgetown online and it was trash. I assumed it wasn't for me, or I didn't know how to work it. I was gifted a piece of high quality and I was in heaven. Yeah, see? It's variable stuff. I had bad experiences with Georgetown and I just got sick of it. There you go. Let's see. Let's see. Had some. Ross says I had some bad luck with Georgetown also. Gary says use any rock except Texas rock. Mike Mason says just tell them to nap glass, Patrick. Nap glass. It's consistent. But they don't want to hear that. I'll lose subscribers if I tell them to nap glass. They go, unsubscribe. Glass sucks. Unsubscribe, and I'll never like him ever again. Not even perusing the short videos. No likes for him ever again. Because he said glass. Let's see. Let's see. What are you talking about, guys? The sky is on fire right now over here, said Ed Gould. I don't get it. Mike Mason says, Patrick, does it matter which way you abrade ever? I usually make a point to abrade opposite side I plan to flake from. Would doing the opposite give some convexity to help run the flake? You know what? That's a good question. In the beginning, I had the same issue, but this is what I do now. Abrade this way, flip it over, abrade the other way. The answer is, which way do you abrade and where? The answer is yes. Just abrade everything in every direction. Abrade everything in every direction. That's my suggestion. Just abrade everything in every direction. It's gonna wipe out all the weak areas, and then look for opportunities. If you see no opportunities, or if you mess it up, then you can start your own technique of abrading to where you think it'll work. My suggestion is just abrade everything in all directions. That's what I do. I'm not going to tell you something I don't do. I do that. I abrade in all directions, and it works well. I don't get hung up on special abrading techniques. Okay, so I got a biface now. That's the easy part. Now I'm going into the next stage. But before I do that, let me see if I can catch up with the chat. Danny Moore says, "Are there easy points in the archaeological record? I thought they were modern. Are there easy points? Okay, in the archaeological record, I thought they were modern. Let's see. Ishi. Are there Ishi points? Yeah, there are Ishi points in the archaeological record from a place called Grizzly Bear Hiding Place, which used to be Ishi's camp before he walked into civilization and started living with the townspeople. Okay? There are points that he made while out in the wild, and those are in the archaeological record. They are small glass points that he made from window glass and bottles, but there's some of those also made of stone. There's a few that he made of stone, that were captured and brought into a museum, found or captured. I don't know exactly, but yeah, there are Ishi points other than the stuff he made at the museum. Let's see. Jeffrey says, "Okay, thanks, Patrick. Awesome. I'm glad it helped." Someone's talking about mushrooms. Let's see. Oh, talking about weather over there. Let's see. Hey, Bushy's here. Patrick, my granddaughter, 10 years old, picked me up some rocks in Tennessee. Very high quality chert, except for some major freeze cracks. She knows her rocks. All right, hold on a second. I got a phone call. Hello. So Alana has it? Mm. Oh, damn. Oh, lift. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, you're on camera. I'm doing a live video, so you're on camera right now. But no one can hear anything, hopefully. Justin? Great. Okay. 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 So you should, I just need to call Alana. Okay. So she has access, right? Okay. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No problem. Yeah. Okay. Bye bye. All righty. Okay. Where was I? I'm not going to be able to think now. Let's see. Oh, my glasses. That's why I felt weird. All right, I'm back. Let me go to the end of the chat so I can get caught up. Ready? Let's see. I'm ready. Where am I? Uh, mm, 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 mm. Greg Evans, it's too late and comments are thick and fast. Good night until next time. Okay, Greg, we'll see you next time. 3 head rubs. Yeah, that's because money was involved. Yeah. Well, let's see. So, Greg, did you ask a question earlier? Let me know if there's questions that I didn't answer. Let's see. Jesse says, I learned on glass, even got a microwave kiln to make glass ingots to practice Ishi points, etc., before I blow out my good rock. That's very smart. Sal says, my troll this weekend said I was a puss for napping with gloves and glasses. Gary says I can breathe better now that it's cold out. Yeah, it's cold right now. It's like 42 degrees. See, Gary lives in New York, I think, at the same latitude as me. Bushy is the same latitude as I am too. Like, if I just drive straight west from where I live, it's almost exactly the same latitude as Bushy's house. Frodo Joe on the chat. What is this? I'm getting. Oh, okay, never mind. It looked like spam, but it's not. Okay. Excuse me while I check my emails too. Apparently, I missed some. I missed some stuff. Um. What? There shouldn't be any problems with that. Excuse me while I talk to my phone. Oh, I see what that is. I'll get to that later. Okay, so where was I before I was so crudely interrupted? That was my ex-wife, by the way. Yeah. Still talk. Yep, we still talk. Now, I'm trying to figure out where's the good side. I think they're both equally bad. Equally good, equally bad, whatever. Let's see. Sal says, I love the trolls, but not when they talk smack to my peeps. Yeah, that's off limits. Alan says, my elk rifle season opens Saturday. Fingers crossed. Yes, yes. My daughter, one of my daughters, sent me pictures of a bunch of elk crossing the road in front of her on her way to school or work last Friday or something like that. There must have been at least 6 female adults, 2 young ones, and 1 male. Big old elk. This is in New Mexico. Bushy says, I'm glad my ex-wife never calls me. If I ever get married again, that would be an issue because my ex-wife calls me several times a month. Let's see. Ronald says, Jack, gotta go. Catch you next on the live one next time. All right, we'll see you. See you later, Ronald. Good to see you. Let's see. Okay, so let me see if I can get this thing down. Gary says, I haven't heard of it yet. What haven't you not heard of? Roy Browski says, I got a copper rod. Should I round the end or make it pointy for indirect percussion? Yes. The answer is yes. Make one end round and one end pointy. See how it works for you. Sometimes guys like one or the other better. Some guys use both. Some guys say, no, just make it flat. Depends. Make it flat, but at an angle, like a 45-degree angle, make it flat. There's many different ways. I would suggest try every possible way that you can do, that you can imagine. I use rounded because it naturally becomes rounded anyway. So I'm lazy. I'll work with what I got. The ideal shape is an egg shape or an oval, right? Not round, but elliptical. If you want to get technical, the best shape is elliptical, not round and not point. For my own experience, but I tend to make them perfectly rounded because they naturally get rounded anyway. I just don't like maintenance, so I work with what I got. The perfectly rounded doesn't work all that great, but I adjust to it and I live with the results rather than having to keep it in the perfect shape every time. The perfect shape is elliptical for me. And I do use it on my 3/8 inch. No, my 5/16 inch rod. See how it's elliptical? This one is more rounded. I prefer the elliptical when I really want precision. And that's when I get down to the nitty gritty at the final stages. I'll use the 5/16 inch or a thinner rod. All right. It's a good question. Let's see. Bushy says, I can probably post a pic on Patrick's photo page. Can you access it? Everyone knows how to get to the community stuff on my channel, right? Roy says, my birthday's tomorrow and I have a cake in the oven to keep an eye out for. Yeah, don't let that go bad. I mean, don't burn it. Let's see. Gary says, nice points in the auction this week. I'm watching it on the TV. Cool. Thank you. I'm glad you liked them. Sal says, I keep one side 3/8 inch rounded and the other end like about a 1/4 inch rounded. There you go. Like, it's funny. You ask someone if they have a certain, like Bushy said, hey, hey, Gary, did you have access to Flickr on your PC? And then Gary says, what's Flickr? What is it? That's funny. Okay. I'll tell someone about something and they go, hey, wait a second, what is that? You never heard of it? Dang it. Someone knows less than I do? Usually I'm the last one to know when it comes to technology or apps or stuff like that. What was I looking at the other day? No, I was looking at it just last night. There was some meme culture things going on not too long ago that I had never heard of. Yeah. And I still can't remember the names of them, but I'm saying, dang, I missed out on those memes. People were doing these memes on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook, and I never saw any of those. There's a trend that is starting to come back where I don't know if it's starting to come back. They used to do this back in the 80s or something. It would be a prank photo or a fake photo of a person laying down and you can't see their head. They got their feet toward the camera, and then someone else would be hiding behind a trash can or something with just their head sticking out. So it looks like someone got beheaded. It's like a Halloween prank photo. And it turns out that it is one of those things that may become a meme these days. They might start doing that again because they were doing some other things that were, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called planking, where they would take a photo of someone in a strange or odd position, just laying down on something, and it would just be out of place. It's called planking because you're just stiff, laying down on something, like laying down on some high post or rail or fence or something, or on top of a police car or something like that. And I said, these were memes. I never heard of these. I never heard of planking and that kind of thing. Where have I been? I've been all through the internet, but I don't see these memes. Let's see. Yeah, where is Ralph? First snow of the year in northern Michigan at a high of 33 degrees today. Man, I heard that somewhere you're getting a foot of snow in Michigan. Danny Moore says 2 weeks of bow season here and it's just now getting under 70 degrees. Oh, dang. Not too long ago, we had a 24-degree night like a week or so ago. 24 degrees at night. No snow, though. We're getting our snow in about a week. It seems like if I look ahead of time into the forecast here in Vermont, we're going to get our snow in about a week or maybe Friday. Yeah, that's sooner than a week from now. But we're just getting a lot of rain right now. It's been raining for hours. This is what I'm used to. Raining and raining and raining. On and off, but it never stops. It just gets drizzly and then it comes down harder, then it gets drizzly. It doesn't stop though. That's what the kind of rain I grew up with. In Texas, it's either coming down in waves, huge waves of water, and then all of a sudden it's gone, or little bitty wimpy rain. That's it. Either one of it's either really wimpy rain or rain that floods everything. Here it's like it's kind of, steady. No big deal. So far so good. No flooding. Although there is flooding up here in New England for sure. Just none lately. Not around here anyway. We're right on the river, so it gets a little scary when you hear forecasts of potential flooding. Where? In this county? Yeah, in your county. Oh, dang it. And I'm right here next to the river. Yeah. But we have a dam right there in town. There's a dam, and they open the gates when the water gets real high. So I've never seen any flooding here in the past 3 years. Anyways. Let's see. Bushy says, Pat, you're not that far from the snow, from Mount Snow. Probably 2 feet of snow there by now. Man-made. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. The ski resorts will have the snow. Yeah, I'm not that far. I'm only like 20 minutes away from the nearest ski resort. I don't know if it's Mount Snow, but it might be. Let's see. Roy said it snowed all day today here in Pennsylvania. Let's see. Sal says, I'll be right back, guys. Okay. Take your time. Take your time. We'll be here all day. I wish. 7:32. I'll be here for another like 45 minutes. I need to check the auction. Hold on a second. Let me just knock off some of these lumps. Yeah. This looks like some of the stuff that Sal sent me. It was high grade, but it's kind of weird because just when you think it'll flake well, it doesn't. Just when you think you're getting used to it, it'll do something weird. So that means it has some inconsistencies in it. But it flakes easily. Yeah. It'll do something every time you hit it. Yeah. Every time you hit it, at least a little bit of flaking comes off there. It's not very predictable. Yeah. Yeah, like that. That's the way it should be all the time. Wait, what'd you do? I can't see. I know. These live streams, I don't know. It's hard to see what I'm doing. Unless you got an angulometer, then you can calibrate your angulometer. Other than that, you can't see. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I'm just abrade every which way I can. Knock off all the weak areas. Yeah. That's the theory anyway. It still crushes, but oh well. Just hope for the best on the next one. Yeah. I got into an argument one time with a guy on YouTube. I said that many of these flakes are incidental and not intentional. And he came back. He was a wise guy. He says, uh, "You don't believe that? It's not like you just hit and pray every time. You don't know me too well, do you? It is like hit and pray every time. Hey, Ed Gould, super chat, $10 again. Ed, you gave me another $10. Holy moly! Thank you, thank you." Roy Browski says, "Can you use indirect like that on a slab of obsidian?" Oh yes, yes. Except you got to tiptoe through the tulips. It's a whole different ballgame when you use obsidian. When you use indirect percussion on obsidian, I've got videos on it if you want to check it out. Let's see. Yeah, generosity rewarded. Thanks, Ed. E-money. Ralph is hiding in the auction he showed there. What does that mean? Let me check the auction in a minute. Let's see. If you have questions on the auction, I'll try to answer them too. I'm trying to get rid of lumps here so that my next stage is not going to be all that difficult. I crushed the edge a little bit on some of these strikes, but at this stage, it doesn't matter all that much. I'm not trying for a perfect preform. Okay, so that's how I do the first stage thinning. The final thinning is it's more stressful than this. This was kind of stressful since I don't know the properties of the material that well. It is not consistent. It's got areas in it that are kind of weird, but it does nap relatively easily. It'll do something when you hit it. It's not like it'll in some spots it won't work at all. Like some charts you'll hit it and hit it and it still doesn't nap right. It won't remove a flake in the way you think it will. It should. It won't remove a flake in the way you think it should. But this is better than that. It's not that great, but it's better than the type of chart that is not cooperative at all. Yeah, obviously. I can still nap chart that's not cooperative. It's not pretty. Yeah. Sometimes I get lucky and I can make a good point out of uncooperative chart. All right, let me check the auction. Let me see. Oh yeah, it's on YouTube. My auction's on YouTube. What am I doing? Yes, I see that. Yes, I see that. Auction time. All right, what do we got? James Hayes. Awesome work. Glad the Bloodstone is working for you. James from the Texas Knapping. Awesome. Now, I'm going to write a message. Do you need me to make a point from that? Or, yeah, do you need me to send you a point from that nodule? I'll do it. Come on. There it is. And then Okay. Lots of points this week. Yes, yes. All right, so we got some replies for sure. Dang, these are good. The green bloodstone. People want it. People like it. Cool. All righty. The leaf-shaped blade got bids on it. Nice. All right, so I'm putting a like on everything that I see. That way you know that I see your bids and your comments. Okay. And yes, I do like these bids. Scottsbluff. Hey, wow. I need to make more Scottsbluffs. Although I don't like making them. They attract a lot of interest. Yeah. No, 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 no. Not this. That's the wrong button. I hit the down button on one of my items. I wonder if that matters. Of course, I undown thumbed it. All right, so don't. Ah, Wesley, yeah, you're bidding on the box of Brooks and Bifaces always. Hmm. All right, awesome. Lots of bids. You still got like an hour and 15 minutes to bid in the auction. I'm announcing the winners at 9 p.m. Eastern time, every auction. Roy Browski says, I have 2 flakes of mahogany obsidian I don't want to break yet, and 2 broken pieces of obsidian slab, spear, or leaf knife. I see. I would just practice on the broken ones first. Yeah. Tommy Taylor, he's not bidding on Bloodstone yet. That one has got something. He's going sweep in like a hawk at the end and take it. Yeah, sometimes that happens. Let's see. Salty Daltons. Jesse made some salty Daltons. Alan Cole says, I have 2 Dacite Scots Bluffs from the auctions. Yes, yes. Bushy says, Pat, I just uploaded my friend's buck he got at Letchworth on your page. It's big. Let me see. Let me see. Hold on. Let me turn on the heater. There we go. 49 degrees. There's a thermometer up there. 49 degrees in the shop. All right. Let's see. Where do we got? Let me look at, see what Bushy put up there. Mhm. That's not the right one. That's not the right button either. Where am I? Oh, I know it. YouTube doesn't give you the right response. The first time you hit the button, it gives you one response. You hit the same button again, it gives you a different response. All right, now I'm in the community. Let me see. Letchworth Buck. Ooh, it is big. Yay. Look at that. I didn't realize they got that big around here. I hadn't seen a big deer around here in New England ever. I've only seen small ones. Um, nice little salty dalty. This he calls this a salty dalty. Ah, come on. Don't be doing that. Okay. Come on. Where is it? And then what else we got? Best one yet from Sinagua. And there's another photo. Come on. I'm swiping this way and it doesn't work. It doesn't work either way. And it's only 1 out of 2. See? There it is. Okay. See, my fingers are not made for phones or something. I can push buttons, I can swipe, and it doesn't work. I can see myself on my live stream. See, I can see myself on my live stream. I think it's funny. Yeah. Okay, where am I? I'm trying to work miracles with this type of chart. It's not. It's not all that bad. Yeah, it gets me nervous because it feels like it's snapping halfish and crunchy and inconsistent. Can you see the dust? Very dusty rock. Also, some rocks don't produce that much dust. This one produces a lot of dust. Produces. Let's see. Hey, Lance. Outcast Metal Detecting is here. What's up? Alan Cole says the competition is steep today. Oh, yes, it is. Bushy says Patrick is eating prime rib tonight. I wish. I've already eaten a lot of the rib that I got from a friend of mine. I got some deer ribs. I think I've eaten like most of it already, or all of it. I might have like one little batch left. Yeah. Oh yeah, that didn't last. That did not last at all. Yeah, unfortunately, I might not be able to go back down to Texas because of unexpected expenses. I was going to pick up another batch of deer meat. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see. This isn't too bad. Can you see how that angle matters? There's very, very subtle tweaks. I'm being sarcastic. There's very, very subtle tweaks. It looks like the same angle every time almost, but it makes a lot of difference. A few degrees makes all the difference, and it doesn't always stay the same. Depending on how long the flake is and what the edge is looking like. And if I try to explain it, it doesn't work. I don't know what's really happening. I tend to work a lot of stone that's unpredictable. That's one reason why I can't really tell you exactly how I do it, because a lot of it is just hit and pray on stone that's unpredictable, obviously. But uh, the other thing is, I try not to think about it too much. And when I say I need to take a break and focus, it's not because I'm thinking more. It's because I'm tuning back the thinking so I don't think at all. If I'm in the zone, that means I'm not really thinking. I'm observing only and then going by feel. Observing and feeling. I'm not thinking. I'm not in tune with the way the rock is feeling if I'm talking too much or thinking too much. Some people don't nap that way. If you don't nap that way, that's okay. I'm not talking to you. 24 people, yeah. All righty. Only the important ones are here. Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, it's crackly, crunchy. It's Captain Crunch. Oh well. Let me see. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Yeah, I got to tiptoe. If I tiptoe, if I'm just like, how do I say it? If I'm not too aggressive, it works better. Sometimes I have to be very aggressive in order for it to work, but on this stuff, no. If I'm too aggressive, it starts to get all crunchy and unpredictable. So let me just gently, relatively speaking, remove some of these important flakes. That didn't work. So much for that idea. See, I was just gently trying to remove this lump, but gentle didn't do it. In that case, I just stepped it right in front. Where is. Okay. Something back there dropped. So hit the face of the step fracture, reduce it a little bit, and then try to hit it from the other side. Get rid of that lump. I will try to make more regular videos this coming week. I will try. Almost got it. Almost. I think they got it. No. Yes. Yeah, okay. So I managed to clear it off. It's still got a remnant of the step fracture, but it's not too bad. That was the last lump. So from here, it's just relatively easy. It winds down after the sweaty stage. Starts to wind down, and it's not so bad. If I don't have to thin it anymore, it reduces a lot of stress. Yeah. If I say, okay, that's it for the thinning, it's like, okay, cool. I can relax a little bit. Yeah. I don't know. There's still some thinning. Hold on. Yeah, down near the bottom. Like always. Let's see. Tommy Taylor. Okay, everyone. Quit talking about Sal. He's back. We talking about a recipe? Sal's back, yes. Salamandra is here. Hello, hello. Alan says, I don't have any problems with the ground Wagyu. Wagyu? Let's see. Danny Moore, have you tried making burgers out of it all? And I guess it's not made for burgers. It seems to shrink 75% of the time. I don't know. I don't know if you're talking to me or asking me. I don't make burgers with deer meat. Okay, Ed says 1/4 each of chopped onion flour, of 1/4 each of chopped onion, flour, and cornmeal, and 1 egg, and 3 tablespoons of mayo. Mix the clean something well and fry in oil. Alrighty. Clint Evans says, please lay off the no talk videos. Sorry, I like doing the no talk videos. People say I should just be myself and do what I like. Well, I like doing the no talk videos. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's see. Mike Mason says, I hate bread. Jim Main says, Ellen, what is the. Is that the carnivore diet? I'm on that. Smart, Jim Smart. He's on the carnivore diet. I'm on the carnivore diet except during the holidays when I eat candy. Yeah. I think I gave myself a toothache. Let's see. Danny Moore says I'm on a seafood diet. Yeah, I see. I eat all the food I see. I used to be that way. It's not much food I don't like, says Ed. Alan says very similar. Yes. I got something that's bugging me back here. What is it? Anyways. Let's see if I can get this thin down even more. More thinner. So, yes, that works. Yep, almost. That almost works. What almost works? Trying to thin it down when it's really thin already. It almost worked. It needs just a little bit more convexity than that, and I won't get these step fractures. But it's pretty flat right now. I'm gonna have to narrow it down to get that step fracture out of there. Yeah, I'm gonna get it from the other side. After I make it a little bit more narrow, and then that's it for the thinning. Yeah, I've already pushed it beyond its limits, I think. Without getting really persnickety, I'm not gonna be able to thin it down more. Let's see. Yeah, I managed to get the step fracture out of there, but it's still a little bit crunchy. That's what it looks like on the real artifacts, though. But if I leave it that way and I make a point out of it with that kind of stuff in the middle, if I put it on display, people will go, "Did you make that?" And they won't ask it in a good way. You made it? Yeah. Really? Yeah. Okay. Next. See you later. Nice to meet you. Take it easy. Have a good life. Bye. Same to you, buddy. So now I'm just cleaning up the edge a little bit. These flakes I'm removing now are hard to do with a pressure flaker, so if it wasn't for indirect, I wouldn't like this step here. You can use heavy pressure flakers or heavy pressure flaking for this step. But I just take off little bitty flakes. Come on. Supposedly, supposed to be taking little bitty flakes off. Some people might ask, do you really like making the no talk videos? I mean, are you just saying that to annoy people? No, I prefer making a no talk video because I can think better when I'm napping. But people don't like it. In fact, I've noticed over the years that what I like is not what other people like when it comes to videos. So I have to pay attention to what other people ask me to do. Yeah. So a lot of times I do stuff that I've been asked to do because if not, no one's gonna like any of my content. If I made videos just so I could be entertained, I'd have like maybe 5 people watching them. Yeah. Well, what kind of videos do you like, dude? I like them very specific to the to what I'm working on at the time. Like there was a time where I was doing a lot of Scots Bluffs and Edens and trying to learn to do those. If I had my way, I'd have like months and months and months of nothing but videos of the same thing, just doing Scots Bluff Eden points. Because looking at my videos helps me to learn what's going on as well as uh, creating content. But other people are not going to want to see Scots Bluff video after Scots Bluff video after Scots Bluff video like I would like to see it. I don't get bored with watching the same old, same old, same old. Just like I don't get bored eating the same old, same old, same old. I get bored of the same old flaking, which is weird. I don't know why. If it's just like the parallel flaking over and over and over, the same old, same old, same old, I do get tired of that. But if I'm trying to learn how to do a specific point type, my preference would be just to make videos only on that type and that's it when I feel like it. Not every day, but just when I feel like making a video, I'll make one, but it'll always be the same type, the stuff that I'm working on at the time. The way I'm doing videos for interest is I have a list of what people have asked for, or I try to keep it in my brain. Okay, what are they asking for, and what did I just get as a unboxing, and I'll do that stuff. And what those things are is an interruption into what I normally would be doing. All that stuff that I tend to post during the week is not exactly what I was hoping to do. Just so you know. Hey, Shinbone 5000, can you show the preferred way to make a deep hinge? The preferred way to make a deep hinge is just go for it. Yeah. Maximum punishment. Yeah. If you're going to do it, just go crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Go medieval on it. Yeah. Remember that expression? Just go medieval on it. Yeah. That's the best way to do it. So yeah, I'm reaching the end of the ability to thin it on this particular piece. There are some pieces I can thin more than this. Some pieces I can't get this thin. You know what I mean? It's all very variable. How very variable is it? It's very very variable. Let me see. Um, let's see. Where is the tape measure? I'm probably looking right at it. If I take my glasses off, I can probably see it. Dum de dum de dum de dum. I don't see the tape measure, and I just had it not long ago. This is not the one that I was using earlier, or is it? I don't know. I think I have two tape measures, but it might be in my brain only. Okay, 50 millimeters divided by 6. Yeah, 6. What is that? 8 to 1? 50 divided by 6. No. To get a percentage is the other way around. 6 divided by 50. That's the percentage. Um, I don't want a percentage. What am I doing? So yeah, 50 divided by 6 is 8.3 to 1. So I managed to get it to 8 to 1. On some unpredictable stuff. But it doesn't look that great. It's one of those points that someone will say, "You made that? You made this? This is what you made? Really?" Yeah. But that, yeah, this doesn't it look like an artifact? And then there's crickets because they know it does. Montels are like this thin, and they've got defects like this on them a lot of times. But if I display it, they'll go, "This is not real, right?" No. I mean, you didn't find it. It's not an artifact. No, I made it. You made it? Where am I on the chat? Anything? Face napping? Supper's ready. Gotta go. He's got venison stew. Well, then there you go. Perfect. Yeah, face napping time for Clint. Uh, let's see. Sal says, "Ugh. Oh, I better send Alan something." Yeah. Danny Moore says, "Very nice. Thank you. Thank you." So what I'm going to be doing now, let's see. The live stream should be over. No? Yes, it should be over. Live streams on Mondays are usually 6 to 8 p.m. But I'm going a little bit over because I started late. Yeah. But I should stop thinning it now because it's past 6 to 1 ratio. It's at 8 to 1. And if I take another flake and thin it down where I'm thinking it'll be even thinner, might even get to 9 to 1. But it doesn't look that great on the surface. So I'd rather have something 6 to 1 ratio with nice smooth surface than an 8 to 1 or 9 to 1 with the steps. But back in the day on artifacts, they didn't make that distinction. They didn't care. Yeah. As long as it was thin enough for what they wanted. And knives usually need to be pretty thin in order to slice efficiently. The projectile points don't need to be all that thin. But knives, to be efficient, especially in the resharpening, it needs to be thin. Because when you resharpen, if it's really thick, it doesn't cut all that great, even when it's resharpened. Yeah. How do I know? I don't know. Have I tried cutting meat with these stone blades? Oh, yes. It works pretty darn good, especially if you let the meat dry a little bit. And when the temperature gets cool, like in the 40s, it's very easy to cut meat into different cuts. Cut meat into different cuts. Yeah. It's not a bad piece. Okay. It's got translucency to it, but you can't see. Maybe a little bit. No. Yes. If I put the angle like that, see how it's got some translucency to it? It's not bad. One of these days I'll make a case that has backlights in it and I'll be able to see all the translucencies on all the points. So in case you're wondering, I made this at the beginning. It's a little Kerrville knife, what they call a Kerrville knife here in Texas. Since this is a Texas chert, I'm not calling it a hand axe. I'm calling it a Kerrville knife. It's got cortex on one side that's rounded. I did grind it up at the top here so that it doesn't feel rough or sharp on the hands. I missed a spot. Right on the cortex right there. There's a little sharp spot. Yeah. Anyways, I have one of these, a real one, but it's not this good. I got one that looks like they gave up on it. They were hitting it, and it's got cortex on one side, but the blade's all wonky. It's like they were hitting on it, and they didn't like the way the stone was napping or something. They just chucked it. But I do have an artifact like this. Anyways, I do have a collection of real artifacts. Not that many, and most of them were given to me. Yeah, I did get some one time on a deer lease, hunting them myself. But most of the artifacts that I own have been given to me as gifts, and they're all broken, which is fine. That's what I asked for when I received them. I said, "Do you have any broken ones you don't want?" And some of my friends said, "Yeah, I got plenty of broken ones, but some of them I am going to keep." This they told me, but the other ones, like I've got duplicates of all, and they look like they're just the same old broken little stems. So I got a bunch of stems. Alan Cole says Patrick still hasn't seen my comments. Nope, haven't seen the comments. You just repeat. If I haven't seen your comment and you want me to see it, just repeat it. Let's see. Danny Moore. Let's see. Who is leaving? I'm looking back in the chat to see. Alan says, I'll have to send Patrick another box, but only if he promises to nap Cody Complex points with the whole box. You want me to promise? That's if I do that, I will lose half of my subscribers. Let's see. Yeah, Shinbone 5000. It's good to see you too, brother. Yes, yes. If you don't know, Shinbone 5000 has an excellent YouTube channel. Be sure to check it out if you haven't already. Shinbone 5000. Yeah, he's been around forever. If you haven't seen his videos, where have you been? Clint Evans says, Patrick, I'm just kidding about the videos. I watch everything you post. Okay, good. Hopefully, I didn't sound too sarcastic or offensive. I tend to not interpret things correctly, and then it gets me into trouble. Let's see. All right, I don't think I missed anything. I did find your comment, Alan. So yeah, I don't know if I'll do that with the whole box. Let's see. Ed's leaving. Good night. Good night. Sal says it would be worth watching. Really? He didn't say. Danny says he didn't say you have to do them all at once, Patrick. Yeah. So yeah, I can do. I don't know. I've been trying to catch up with my back orders. I need to get those out of my life, basically. They cause me a lot of stress. Let's see. And a lot of the stuff I need to be doing is not difficult. It's just setting aside the time to do them. Yeah, that's the difficult part. Let's see. Yeah, I need to. Some of these are way too small. Yeah, I already collected the good size flakes. Yeah, these bunch of crud flakes. What else? I'm going to end the stream here in a minute, guys. Let's see. Monolithics channel, 2 blades they dug up. Hmm. Huge and thin. They were sandwiched together when they dug it up. I see it. Have I seen that? I've seen a video similar to that. Yeah, very cool. All right. So the auction is going on right now. It's just a video that I posted, if you don't know. And I declare the winners at 9 p.m. Eastern, which is in about 45 minutes. I'm going to go check the auction. Oh, that's what I'll be doing tonight. The next live stream is Wednesday at 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time. And I might do that in a vertical format on the next live stream. Although I don't like vertical format and I don't like the shorts format videos, I might just do like everybody else and start filming everything in vertical format. I've been known to do stuff I don't like doing. Yeah. But I don't like it. So I goof around and people say, just do it, man. Just do it. What's the matter? What's the problem? And be serious. Act your age. Yeah. Blades and points. Give us the close up. Which is the close up view? I can do a close up view in a vertical format. Yeah. So you won't see this. You won't see this mess. And the light bouncing off my forehead. I'm waiting for someone to show up and say, "Hey guys, I made it." No one's come in late. Dang it. They know. They know that we'll make fun of them. Yeah, I'll try. I can do a live stream at any time, right? So I can just yeah, Alan says, what did I miss? I can do a live stream at any time during the week with the regular close up format, but in vertical. And then do these live streams in the vertical, but looking at me in this view. Yeah, I can start doing those. Yeah, we'll see. All right, Danny says, good night, all. Yep, good night. I'm going to end the live stream. We'll see you guys next time. Good to see everybody. Take care of yourselves. Don't drive in the snow. Not because you don't know how to drive, it's because everybody else doesn't know how to drive. They forgot already over the summer. When I was living in Indiana, you would think that they would remember how to drive in winter after the summer, but no, the summer resets everyone's brain to zero. They don't know how to drive when the snow starts falling. So just watch that. Be safe. Yes, yes. Yep. Good night. Good night. We'll see you next time. And yeah, hopefully we'll get to these other boxes that I got to nap stuff out of these gift boxes that I just got. Right? Yes. All right. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.